I met these students for the first time this morning. Group of 20, it turned out to be 28. 18-year-olds are reticent. And 18-year-olds who don't know each other are reticent. And 18-year-olds who don't know each other who are speaking are reticent. And then add speaking a foreign language. And then add that they're Japanese and they're a little bit, they're shy, they're reticent. Also because I had not met these kids before. They didn't know me. There were cameras. But more than the cameras, I think it's just they didn't know me. And I was asking them to do something they've never ever done. It was a very unusual experience for them. Good morning, everybody. 2人で1枚お願いします。2人で1枚。So, my name is Don, Cherry Sensei, Don. And I'll be your teacher today. It's a beautiful day, really a beautiful day. Lovely day. There you go. 2人で1枚、2人で1枚。Okay, all right. No. Yeah, good. No. Good. Excellent. No, that's okay. Good. Excellent. No, that's no good. There you go. Great. Okay, turn over. Good. Okay. To draw them in, or to the hook, I use the word hook. By hook I mean something that's non-threatening. It asks them usually to do something physical, not to say a word or anything, to do something physical, to react in some way, and it's got to be a little bit mysterious, a little bit intriguing. So I gave them this grid. It's 5 columns and 5 rows with a shaded thing in the middle, and they didn't know what to do with it. So I just gave it to them, and there's a way to orient it on your desk. There's a right way and 3 wrong ways. And I walked around and I just shook my head, and at the ones that weren't right, they have to put it a certain way, and then I found 1 or 2 that were right, and I pointed, and that sort of forced them to look around and start to pay attention. That's all I wanted there. So once they got it pretty quickly. And then I said, okay, we'll turn it over. And they're probably wondering, well, what was that all about? Well, we wind up using it later, but at the right then and there, that it just got their attention. So, これありますよね。これありますよね。ここはないだけどな。どうしよう。何書いてある？指で空気にこの文書いてください。大きく、私見えるように。大きく。この文。これと同じような。はい。Go. Good. No. No, it's okay. わかんない。なんかやる気なさそう。もう一回。No, that's okay. やって。空気。Okay. There we go. Good. There we go. やりたくない？ No, that's okay. はい。No, that's okay. No. 見て。もう一回。はい。わかった？やって。
何が違う？
これ。ゆっくり。No.
こうやって。
はい、Go. ふったはい、練習して。30分ぐらい練習して。はい。Excellent. Go ahead. Excellent. もう一回。はい。Excellent. Fantastic. Go ahead. Excellent. 左利き。はい、もう一回して。Excellent. はい、Ready? 3回早く。せーの、Go. 私わかんない。難しい。Excellent. Good. Okay. じゃあこれして。大きく。私見えるよ。はい。
次持ってから。
2人で考えてください。2人で考えて。ちょっと相談して、友達に。
そうです。
That's it. Right there. That's it. Right there. Go ahead. No, 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 no. Go ahead, go ahead. No, 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 no. Watch, watch out. Look, look, look. ほら、ほら、ほら、ほら。見て、見て。はい、go ahead. 大きく。はい。
あ、俺でいいよ。
あ、もう違うわ。マイク違うわ。やってやって。That's it. もう一回見たいですか？もう一回して。もっと綺麗に。はい、皆さん相談してしなさい。大きく、大きく。はい、もう一回前。はい。じゃあやってあげます。Ready? これネイティブスピーカーよ。ネイティブスピーカー。はい。Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good. はい、もういいです。はい。もうやめて。はい。じゃあ、声して。There you go, brother. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. Okay. And this one, this one. はい。Go. There we go. Okay. 3回、早く。Go. There we go. Good. Good. Okay. Okay. Then we began writing in the air, and the small t, Japanese will always, because of the influence of kanji, Japanese writing, they'll always do like that. It's not a big deal. You can do that, but I want them to pay attention. So everyone was doing that, and one or two kids would do this. I'd say, yeah, that's right. And the other kids they didn't understand. They had to really pay attention then. Much closer attention even than the thing with the grid. It's mysterious, it's intriguing, it's also a bit irritating. Not terribly. If it's really irritating, that's no fun. But it's like a stone in your shoe. Like, you wonder what the hell's going on? And they're wondering, what the hell's going on? Why is this man doing this to us? So they're looking around, and then they got to really pay attention because it's hard to see things being written in the air. So then they're being drawn in more and more. And from there, we begin talking, speaking. Okay. Say it. 上手。上手。なんで？はい。せーの。聞いて。聞いて。一回だけ言うからちゃんと聞いて。聞いて。or かっこいいやろ。Punchして。Go. Go. Punchして。Go. せーの。Good. Good. せーの。Good. せーの。Good. Good. はい。せーの。Good. Good. やれ。なんか。Go. はいはいはい。分けた。はい。せーの。じゃあ声なし。せーの。Fur. Say it. Say what? Uso. Huh? Say no. There we go. Say no. There we go. Hi. Good. Okay, say it. All right, good. Okay, ready? こうして同じことして。じゃあもう一回します。やってやって。Good, good. せーの。せーの。Good. Go ahead. Good. No. Again. はい、practice, practice. 高さ関係。高さ関係。速さ関係。速さ関係ない。高さ。Ready? Here. Here we go. Ready? Like this. Ready? Go. Good, good. はい。はい。Good. はい。はい。せーの。はい。Ready? Go. Good. じゃあそういうふうにそう言ってください。せーの。せーの。Good. Here we go. せーの。Perfect. せーの。Good. せーの。Good, good, good. はい、これが。せーの。Good. せーの。There we go. せーの。Perfect. せーの。Great teacher. Fantastic. Good. はい。せーの。Go. はい、せーの。せーの。せーの。That's it. はい。Ready? ちょっと考えて。どんな形ですか？
一番強い。
二人で考えて。はい、これ。はい。Go ahead, go ahead. That's it. That's it. No, listen. Good. Go ahead. Perfect. Perfect. 言い過ぎた。もう一回。Perfect. もう一回。
あ、待って。
それわからない。誰もわからない。Look, look, this is perfect. Listen to him. Go ahead. That's it. 見て。Go ahead. Good. Everybody practice that. Go ahead.
2回。
Oh, no, too much. Good. Oh my God. Good. Excellent. Good. はい。じゃあ言いましょう。せーの。せーの。Good. Good. Say it again. Excellent. Good. A lot of them were laughing this morning. It's not the first time I've been laughed at, Well, first of all, the nature of some of the stuff I'm doing is funny. Like when they're not turning the paper right, I go, no, that's not right. I mean, that's ridiculous. So who cares? But I mean, it's kind of funny. So they do that and say, okay, fine, okay, turn it over. And they're like, what was that all about? There's a lot of laughing in my class just because that's how I am. I mean, I just make jokes a lot. But it doesn't have to. There's usually a bit of laughter in a language classroom because you're doing what you're doing. You know, you're stumbling around in a foreign language, and sometimes you make mistakes, and that's funny. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. 言いましょう。せーの。せーの。
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
せーの。Friday. せーの。日本でもそうです。せーの。
Friday, Thursday,
Good, good. はいはいはい。Ready? Good. せーの。
Thursday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Saturday.
早く言いなさい。せーの。早く早くすることいっぱいあるから。せーの。Good. はい。せーの。Good.
Second period,
はい。
second period,
はい。はい。どうぞ。どうぞ。何でもいい。こうして、こうして。Good.
Friday,
同じこと言わんといて。
Period Monday,
Very good.
second period Monday,
Good.
third period Wednesday.
Good.
second period Monday,
Good. 皆さん、turn this over. こうして。はい。はい。どうぞ。
first period Monday,
Good. どこどこ今。適当。もう一回聞こうか。はい。
first period Monday,
指ささんでいいわ。言って。はい。
first period Monday,
Good. はい。そうそうそう。はい。指さして。こう。よし。はい。はい。どうぞ。どれでも言って。どれでもいい。
second period Tuesday,
聞こえた？大きい声で言って。
second period Tuesday,
はい。ゴー。そうそう。お願い。大きい声で、大きい声で言って。
third period Monday,
ゴー。はい。はい。
はいはい
Third period でしょ。はい。はい。最初。おい。二人、最初はどうですか。Winner。Winner。Okay。こうして。Loser こうして。Winner どれでも言って。
セカンドピリオドウェンズ
Go。早く早く。は
ここやろ
？Second period Wednesday でしょ。
あ、そうね。マンデー、ここサンデーじゃないか。マンデー。
OMG。OMG。はい、はい。Winner。Loser こうして。はい。Go。大きい声で言って。
Third period Wednesday.
Go。
マンデー。
はい、じゃあ次。Go。言って。
First period Friday. Friday.
遅いな。じゃあ交代交代やってください。2人で交代交代やるね。はい、ちゃんとしてね。テストあるから。1分後テストある。はい、やる。ゴー。
最初だけでいいけど、別に。
グッ。はいはいはい。グッグッ。はい、交代交代。はい、もういい。Everybody, could everybody stand up? Don't worry, don't worry. I'm not going to stand up. Yeah, stand up. And move one chair. Doesn't matter. One clockwise. One chair clockwise. こっちもお願い。いい Stand up. Move one chair clockwise. こっちも。紙をそのまま置いておいて。最初はグー。じゃんけんほい。はい。Loser. Win. Hi. How are you? Loser こうして。はい。Winner. パー。交代交代やって。交代交代して。テストあるからちゃんとしなさい。Go. はい。はい、もういい。はい、もういい。もうやめて。Okay, test. Test you. Test. One of the mistakes I often make is to try to do too much. I try to do too much, to just stick with one thing and really nail it and really work on it. Try to find the smallest possible challenge, get over all the other stuff, try to keep it focused on one thing. Not forever, obviously, but try to find the challenge and the fun in it and be creative about that. So you've got to really, you've got to really think about it, and that's not an easy thing always. You got to really think what's important in this, and how do I show that to them without clutter, and how do I make it interesting, and how do I then find different ways to practice that. That's really it. はい、もういい。もうやめて。Okay, test. Test you. Test. Everybody, こうして。Everybody. こう同じ距離で。Okay, ready? Ready? どうぞ、どれでも言ってください。
サードピリオドフライデー。
はい。違うよ。どうよ。はい。はい。いきますよ。お願い。いい。
フォースピリオドマンデー。
ゴー。はい。はい。こ。大きい声で言って。
セカンドピリオドマンデー。
Excellent. Excellent. じゃあ最初はグー、じゃんけんほい。これほい。はい、loser。winner。もうちょっとやってください。大テストあるからちゃんとやってください。
ビグスピリオドチューズデー。
そうで。
サードピリオドマンデー。
なんか英語だけじゃなくて先生も日本語を使って喋ってくれたりすごい親近感湧いてびっくりしました。
日本人が話す英語と外国人他国のネイティブな人の英語のイントネーションが全然違くて
普段なんかペアでやることがあんまり少なくてなんかじゃんけんとかいろいろ用いてやることがすごい楽しかったです。
Ready? Go. Perfect. Oh, 信じてください。せーの。せーの。Perfect. せーの。Good. これと同じ。これと同じ。せーの。Good. これはGood. アメリカの発音。せーの。せーの。これだけ。せーの。There we go. せーの。もう一回。せーの。Good. はい。せーの。せーの。せーの。Good. Here we go. Say no. Good. Say it. There we go. Hi. Ready? Go. Good. 最初はグー、じゃんけんほい。はい、これほい。はい。Winner. Winner. Ah, winner. Loser. Winner. Loser. Winner. Winner. Loser. Winner. Loser. Winner. 終わったらこうして私が分かるように2人終わったら順番ではいナンバーせーのGood. もう一回せーのGood. Now, everybody do this. Ready? こうして、こうして。Okay, やめて、やめて。Winner, loser, winner, loser, winner. 早くしなさい。することいっぱいあるから。Winner 終わったら loser, okay? でも終わって、2人終わったらこうして。早く早く、Go! I think the liaison thing is really good because no one's asked them to say that because it's ridiculous. I mean, it's not ridiculous. It's there's a point to it. But if you pointed that, they're like, well, I can say that because it doesn't make any sense and it won't be a mistake. I don't even know what he's doing. So you put it that, then you go begins that, and they're like, oh, begin, and then they're lost in the language. So liaison is a really good way to lure them out of their hiding place. Like for example, the class begins at 3. So the class you have to stop them there. Or I would go, that. Or I would probably tap it on the chart for it. And then I would show them, okay, what you just did is that. And if this were 8, at date, just try to work on the liaisons. They're reading liaisons, they're not reading English words. Then you tap on the word and they know the liaison and then it all just sort of like sticks together and they say it. And because they've never been asked to do that, it's not like they can make a mistake. It's like はい。Ready? Go.
First period begins at 9 o'clock and that and 10, 13.
Good. 次。
First period begins at 40 and 12:10.
わかんない。じゃあやりましょう。Ready? Say it. Say it first. Period. Say it. もう一回。もう一回 say it. そう、say it. Muy bien, sí. かっこいい、もう一回ね。せーの。もう一回せーの。早くせー。せーの。かっこいい。せーの。いくぞ。はい、ゴー。はい、wrench inside, wrench inside. Good. いいですか？大きい声で言って。はい。Go, brother.
First period begins at and 9 o'clock and ends at 10:30 o'clock.
Good. One more time.
First period begins at and 9 o'clock.
はい、皆さん、せーの。せーの。Good. 怖いやつだ。First period. もっと可愛い声して。せーの。全然変わってない。顔だけ変わった。はい、せーの。もう一回。First period. せーの。もう一回。そういうこと。最初はグー、じゃんけんほい、はい、これほい。ルーシーがこうして。こうして、なお。この速さで、じゃあ一緒にしましょう。見て、せーの。これぐらいの速さ。いいですか？はい。はい。はい。じゃあ、ウィナー頑張って。これなるまで。頑張ってください。はい、ゴー。はい。はい、ゴーゴー。
First period begins at 9 o'clock and ends 10:30. Ends at 10:30 o'clock. O'clock. Clock. Clock.
信じてください。せーの。嘘。あ？はい、せーの。はい、せーの。OK, ready? Ready? Go! はい、5。
セカンドビデオザビギンザットあと910
Good. Good, もう一回。
セカンドピリオドビギンザット10 40
ミスはせーの。
セカンド
ちょっと測るね。5秒。レディー、ゴー。もうあかんあかん。もうもっと測る。せーの。
Second period begins at 10:40.
Good, go, brother. Go.
Second period begins at 10:40.
Good, せーの。
Second period begins at
3回言って。最初はグー、じゃんけんほい。はい、これほい。はい、早くしなさい。winner, loser, winner, loser, winner。早くせ。することいっぱいあるから。はい、go。終わったらどうする？そうよね。はい、go。
First period begins at 9 o'clock and ends at 10:30.
ビデオドビギンザッ
はい、もう時間だから。はい、one chair clockwise, one chair clockwise。ごめん。することいっぱいある。one chair clockwise, stand up, one chair clockwise, one chair clockwise。でも最初はグー、じゃんけんほい。はい、はい。Well, I've been teaching so long, it's really not surprising to me, but it may be surprising to some people to see that they were unable to speak about something that's fairly commonplace. Now, we're talking, like I said, 6 to 10 years studying English, and they were making mistakes on reading time. And I think that's because they've not spoken English. They've just been in the class and they've transferred, they've taken stuff, they've looked at a book, they're just sort of taking stuff in and not speaking and putting it out on a test, or listening and then putting it out on a test, but not really speaking. And even so, you'd think that they would have learned more than they have. But at any rate, it is what it is. They have what they have. ウィナーから早くしなさい。1分できないと学長に電話します。Right? ウィナーから、winner, loser, winner, loser, winner. Go! Hurry!はい、もういい。もう一回。はい、もう一回。その時間だから。はい。もういいです。はい。もういい。はい。はい。Okay, here we go. Ready? Go.痛い。はい。はい。There we go. Say it. Okay. First. Hatson. Say it. これ。せーの。はい。なんとか。じゃあこれ何？ じゃあ考えなさい。誰考え。いや、誰か言った。はい。じゃあ書きます。書いてあげます。はい、いいですか。はい。いい。さあ、足りない。Good. じゃなくて。There you go. はい、それ。かっこいい。はい。
What time does begin?
八丁堀、八丁堀。はい。はい。
What time does first period end?
なんか言って。
What time
Say it. せーの。OK、最初はグー、じゃんけんほい。あいこらほい、ほいほいほい、ほいほいほい。OK、loser。手出してください。手出して。winner こうして。OK、こういうふうにやってください。見て。What time does second period begin? はい。
What time does first period begin?
9 o'clock. You gotta close. はい、どうぞどうぞ。9 o'clock. はい。What time does fourth period end? はい、はい、はい。
What time does first
怖いから、はい。
What time does first period end?
10:30, baby. There you go. Good. やって、こうやって、ちょっと練習しましょう。ちょっと待って。ちょっと練習しよう。はい。練習しよう。はい、ちょっと交代交代やってください。はい、ゴー。交代交代。
What time does first period end?
はい、one chair clockwise, one chair clockwise, one chair clockwise, one chair clockwise. はい、最初はグー、じゃんけん、はい、はい、これ、はい。Loser! Now、これから、君たちは1年生だから、多分全部覚えてないけど、まあ、だから、こうじゃなくて、これぐらい。この顔。You can do it. You can do it の顔、OK? で、交代やって。はい、ゴー。テストあるからよ。1分後テストあるからちゃんとできないと。 Right, test. They could do that slap game we did today. That's a lot of fun. So, rock, paper, scissors. Loser puts his hand out. Winner does this. Winner says, what time does first period begin? And this person has to answer before that happens. And they go back and forth. And just very quickly, moving them quickly, getting them moving quickly. Get up, move around. I never, and this is important, I never let them all finish and then just sit there until the last person finishes. We don't have time for that. And it's really not that important. If they do 3, that's enough, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's just the fact that there's an urgency to it. Right, test. Test. Nisan,こうして。Everybody, everybody. Everybody, test だよ。test. はい、どうぞ言って。どれでも言ってください。
What time first? What time does first begin?
One more time. もう一回。
What time does first begin? Period. First period begin.
これ聞こえました？ほんまに？確か聞こえたけど。ごめんなさい。ちょっとみんなで歩いたからもう一回言ってくれ。
What time does first period begin?
Good.
9 o'clock.
言って。ちょっと待って。キャッチフレンチ。じゃあ次どうぞ。
Fourth period. What time does fourth period begin?
もう一回。
What time does fourth period begin?
はい、次大きい声で大きい声。
What time does fifth period end?
Good, good. Again, say it again. It's beautiful. もう一回。
What time does fifth period end?
Good.
50?
Oh, 5:50. Good. Good. 危なかった。危なかった。OK。はい、もういい。
と覚えるのが遅いのでみんなが覚えて言ってるのについていけれなくて一人だけ取り残されてたのが困りました。
スピードがいつもの授業よりも速かったので、自分がなんか単語力とか英語力があんまりないのでついていくのが精一杯でした。
The nature of the way I'm teaching is I'm getting feedback constantly from them. To my mind, what we're doing is such a simple thing. They're trying, I'm telling them, I'm giving them feedback on where they are, and then they try again. And I can see with my eyes. To my mind, they're constantly being tested. A test is a bit of feedback, isn't it? Well, this is feedback too. They're giving me feedback, I'm giving them feedback, and we're constantly going back and forth. And I know when they know it. I mean, basically. If they didn't know it, I would see. You know, it's right in front of my eyes. And there may be a couple students who are just, they've got it cold. Then you work on the rhythm or the pronunciation with them. That's the beauty of this. I mean, everyone's can be working at their own level, you know, because the ones who don't have the words in the right order are doing that. The ones who do, who thought that they had this down cold, are being asked to say it quickly. And they've never been asked to say it quickly or out loud, or so that other people could hear it and respond to it. Because lots of things we do, they have to say it loud enough because we're all waiting because we got to point at something or something. So everyone's pretty much, so you're going at a broad band of levels. Okay, hi Moi. 発音上手上手上手。Yep, that's it. That's it. That's it. 分かった？そう、当たり前。こういうふうに書くと、そう。せーの。これやめて。せーの。せーの。Say what? Yeah. Good. はい、もういい。はい。There we go. はい。発音。せーの。Period。はい、いくぞ。せーの。ちょっと待って。はい。Class. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Hey. Don't worry. Voilà, voilà. All right, ready? Say it. Okay, say it. Hey.
Kimiko has a glass. Kimiko has a glass every Tuesday.
頑張ってこの分だけこれにして発音Yeah, so this morning's class was a class that I don't have. That's not one of my regular classes. First time I met him. The classes I do have, I teach over the course of a year. It's 15 times per semester, and then take away 2 or 3 for testing and all this sort of mandatory testing. So now we're down to 26, 27 realistically. But you know, during the semester, it is week after week after week I meet them, and I can't keep doing the same sort of tricks. I've been teaching at universities for about 30 years now. So I've come to a sort of a rough curriculum in my head, and it changes always a little bit depending on the students. There will be like a series of lessons that are all connected, and then the next I'll move on to the next bit. And oftentimes I'll find in that something to do a callback to what happened before. So it's not like one and done, and they're like, okay, well, we mastered that bit of language. No, you probably haven't. But that's fine, that's not a big problem. So let's put it in this new context whenever that's possible. As far as the overall sort of curriculum, there's 2 semesters. The first semester we do, what I work towards eventually is describing a single picture. I think that's a pretty good skill to have. Now, not every class is just focused just on that one thing, but it starts to move in that direction. And then the second semester is storytelling, which is, in my mind, I swear I think I spend most of my talking is telling stories to my wife when I come home from school, telling her what happened, or telling a funny story to somebody, or just simply recounting what happened. Again, it's not just working towards storytelling, it's other stuff too. And then storytelling, other stuff, storytelling, then it starts to get more towards storytelling, and we work on that, and then we have a final test where it's a storytelling test. Say no. More. No.直して。そう、同じこと。直して。あれ、そうじゃなくて、なんか違うパターンして。 Oh, no. That's it. Again. Again. 言いましょう。せーの。はい、やめて。せーの。Perfect. Perfect. Excellent. 最初はグー、じゃんけん、はい。はい、グーのはい。Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Winner. Winner. Loser. Race. ここからここまで。早く、it's a race. 早くしなさい。早く終わったらしてください。友達。Okay? Winner, loser. ここからあっちまで。Ready? Go. Erase 同時に、同時に言って。One chair clockwise, one chair clockwise. You stand up, move, one chair clockwise. Say show a good, just get quick. Winner, winner, loser. Go 言ったら同時に始めてください。早くして。早く終わったら。Ready? Get you Monday from Monday to Friday. Okay, ready? Set で3分で2人とも終わってなかったら学長もお母さんも電話します。Ready? Go. Not to belabor the point, but these are 18-year-old kids, and they're in a situation that there's what's in it for them to speak English. Like, for example, I'll say, if they don't do it, I'm going to call your mother. So that cracks him up, and it gives him permission to say it quickly, because he's going to call my mother. Isn't that crazy? So I'll say it quick. I guess I don't know. This guy's guy's nuts. I say I'm going to call the president of the university. So you better say it quickly. Hey, wait. I'm just gonna cheat. What kind of show youこれ何？ Good. HIU. Say- Okay, what's it?もう怖い。It takes from. Say it. Say it. More again. Say it. There we go. Say it. Hi. Say it. Say it up. Say it up. Go. Say it. Say it. Good, good. Hey, say it. Say it. Good, okay. Hey. Good, say it. Say what? 웃어? 이거? 아이, 왼쪽.お願い。
Thanks. For our scale to get to HIU.
もっと短いバージョンのよ。せーの。そう、ちょっと前のやつ短い。そうしようか。実家することはいっぱいあるけど、時間ないから、そうしようか。せーの。前のやつはせーの。どうしてもいいけど、こうしようか。Good, good. Practice that, practice that. 最初はグー、じゃんけんほい。はい、これほい。ほい。どうする？この部屋する。やって、せーの。はい、ウィナー頑張って。ウィナー頑張って。これなるまで。はい、ゴー。Ready? はい、ゴー。もう分かった、あんですけど。And計算しました。Say it. There we go. 最初から。はい、ready? Say it. Every day. Say it. Say it. Good, good, say it. Say it. Five. はい、頑張って。はい、もう一回しましょう。せーの。もう一回せーの。せーの。せーの。せー。He has to leave. Okay. He has to leave for HIU by 8 o'clock every day. Whew, okay, register, go. Hi. Here we go. Say it up. Say it. Good, 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 good. Come and say it. Or say it. 10 minutes. Say it. Or. Or. Oh. Oh. Good, good, good. Hey. Or. Good. So 3つあるから。せーの。せーの。せーの。その3つあるから全部してください。その3つ。どれでもいい、どれでもいい。どうぞ、どれでもいい。Good. Good. Okay, ready? Here we go. Say no. まあそれそれそれ。そうそう。せーの。はい。Good. Good. Let me stop here. The thing I did at the end of today's class, it was a bit rushed because we were running out of time, but that just sort of occurred to me. So they've worked on the something period begins at something o'clock, and they've got what's his name's got a class first period, and they've got also like they've got every out there. So every in this case it turns out to be every day. So they've got that. So all I got to do is add something that's really common sort of thing to talk about. It takes what's his name, however long it takes to get to wherever. That's a really good sentence to know. If I had more time, I would have them talk about themselves. And it sounds really native, like and da da and da da and da da. So it's not so hard, like you see in a textbook. This is how people talk. Anyways, it takes this guy an hour to get to school, and he's got a first period. He's got a class first period on every day, and first period begins at 9 o'clock. I mean, it just seems very natural, and they've got it all. They've got all those pieces. Sometimes that just happens, that where we work on stuff, and I realize they've got all these pieces to put together this really long utterance, and that's what happened today.
楽しく学べたのと、あと英会話の感覚で学べたのがすごく良かったかなと思います。自分はすごい英語に苦手意識があったんですけど、やっぱり苦手意識を持つんじゃなくて、ちょっとでも英語に触れる環境だったりとか、楽しく学ぶことが、その近道、英語を学ぶ上での近道なのかなというふうに思いました。
ゲーム感覚で英語を学べたのが楽しかったです。
めちゃめちゃ楽しかったし、小学生からこんな英語ずっと授業で学んでたらもっと英語できたのかなと思いました。